Next stop on the Castrol GTX Cup Series Tour, stop number 24 to be exact. Yeah, stop number 24 brings us to Michigan Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan, as we're here today for the running of the Champion Spark Plug 400. As we're set for 30 laps of action on this 2-mile D-shaped racetrack. Yes, as I mentioned before, yes, there is a Brooklyn in Michigan. By the way, there's a Brooklyn someplace else besides New York. But it's where the Irish Hills are located, is where it's located at, as a matter of fact, too. So, anyway, with all that said here, let's get to the starting line for today's running event. On the pole at 184 miles an hour, it is William Brock in the number 4 Kodak Film Chevrolet. He's alongside Levi McIntyre in car number 17, Western Auto Chevrolet. Levi coming off of a top 5 run at Watkins Glen, the last race on the tour. Second row, he's the Quaker State Ford, car number 26 of Matt McIntyre. Matt has won twice this season so far. He'll be alongside Ryan Brommer, car number 66, the Phillips 66 Trop Arctic Ford. Starts on the outside. Brommer won this season in the 600 at Charlotte. Third row sees Nathan Hudson, number 55, and car number 3, Cole Deaver in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. Fourth row sees Jessica Shelton, car number 9, the Coors Light Ford, the points leader coming in this event. She's alongside Charles Sanford in car number 24, the DuPont Chevrolet. Charles has won twice this season, and so too has Shelton. Fourth row sees number 25, Benjamin Miles, and number 42, Kyle Matthews. Next row down sees number 94, Jesse Turner, who won the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. And the winner of the last race in the tour, and the winner of that last race in the tour at Watkins Glen, Quentin Moore, car number 21 of Citgo Ford. Next row is Dylan Poteet in 22 and Seth Cole in 52. Next row after that we'll see Phil Parker in car number 5, the Levi Garrett Chevrolet, the Daytona 500 winner. And one number up, Nathan Orman in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. Next row down sees car number 27, Kat Batson, and number 30, Jay Jefferson. Next row, Joshua Osborne and Kev Shearer. Osborne in 31, Shearer in 68. Next row, Dylan Young, who has one of our in-car cameras in today's event, the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Miller Genuine Draft Ford, excuse me. He's alongside number 15. It is Jackson Haywood. Jackson Haywood won the season at Talladega, the second stop at Talladega this season. Next row down sees car number 8, Johnny Gardner, and number 29, Zachary Fitzwater, both of whom have won a race this season. Next row has our second in-car camera, Zach Rogers, the number 1 Skull Classic Oldsmobile. 3-time winner this season. He won at North Wilkesboro, the first stop at Talladega, and the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis. Mike Becker in 43 is alongside of him. The next row after that sees car number 12, Rob Evans, and number 14, Ryan George, going for the Michigan sweep this season because his only win came on the same racetrack in the first stop here. Next up, he's car number 28, Keith Batson, of Texaco Haviland Ford. He has our third in-car camera. He's alongside car number 20, Mitchell Collins. Next up, he's 83, Alex Miller, number 7, Christian Russell. Then it's number 18, Matt Haas, and number 75, Laura Chung. Next row, he's car number 70, Wade Brummer, and number 10, Paul Minnick. Then it's Jean Sanford, 98, and number 71, number 98, Jean Sanford, and beside her will be her brother, Henry Sanford. Henry is Jean's husband. That is that'll be the day. It can't possibly happen. I assure you on that. So that is one of the biggest bloopers I have ever made in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. I will definitely say that. Charles, if you're watching this, I am sorry. Anyway, car number 11, Adam Garcia, has the next row down inside the next row, and beside him will be car number 33, Jacob Thibodeau, and starting shotgun field will be car number 90, Jordan Anderson. And Garcia, by the way, the last race we ran at Michigan, finished 5th in that race, and he's been running good here this season. I should not only apologize to Charles, but I think also should apologize to Gene and Henry too in this video as well. That, like I said, that is probably the biggest blooper I've ever done here. So as I'm recovering from all this, we'll give it a command to fire the engines, and we will be back after this for. Field rolls off a pit road, and we will be back for the start right after this. back at Michigan Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan, as we are set for racing here today in the Champions Sparkplug 400. An all Chevy front row, and you got an all Ford second row. So we'll see what happens here on the first lap. William Brock, who won the second stop at Pocono this season, has the pole. Levi McIntyre won the season at New Hampshire. As the green flag flies, and we are underway here at Michigan. This track is very wide. They'll tend to get 3, sometimes even 4 wide racing here, and this track has been absolutely known for people going 4 wide and causing a wreck. Let's see what happens. Come off turn number 2. They're 3 wide for the time being. Jessica Shelton down the low side of the track as William Brock jumped out to the lead, and Shelton, who started this race in 7th position, is already up to 2nd place right now. She has got a draft off Benjamin Miles now, as William Brock leads the first lap here in the number 4 Kodak Film Chevy, but Benjamin Miles goes low side, and he'll take 2nd position here from Shelton. Shelton is on the inside. She's only inside of Matt McIntyre. Oh, tell me, this is going to be a mess. And there we go. Matt McIntyre spins. Both of our top 2 drivers in the points has crashed. Ryan Brummer involved. Cole Deaver got turned by Jay Jefferson and gets hit by Henry Sanford. Damage to the McIntyre car. That's Levi McIntyre. That is Laura Chung involved. Henry Sanford involved. We mentioned both of our top 2 drivers in the points spun too. Shelton and Quentin Moore. Boy, imagine that would have been the finish to the race right there. I knew when they got 4 wide through turn 2 that was going to be a wreck easily, and we mentioned they tend to get 4 wide in Michigan, and it's usually a certain wreck. And in this case, it was no exception. Let's take a look at what happened here. 4 wide between Osborne, Parker, Hudson, and Matt McIntyre. Shelton was right in the middle of that storm, as was Kat Batson in 27. Kat escapes from this deal. Osborne gets right into Parker, sends Parker into Hudson, and Parker also taps Shelton. Those 2 have got some history now, mind you. Dylan Young, 3rd in the points. He escapes. Actually, Osborne's 3rd in the points. Actually, Young was actually 4th in the points. There's McIntyre. There's Seth Cole involved. There's Hudson. Kyle Matthews involved. Again, bad luck strikes Kyle Matthews. Johnny Gardner sneaks through. I think Orman snuck through too, and so did Rob Evans. Fitzwater's involved. Charles Sanford involved. Several cars playing a game of where do I go when I get there. Mike Becker does a pretty good job missing this whole thing too. And several cars coming to a dead stop trying to miss this whole thing. Mitchell Collins in the 20 car, you see him spinning in the number 20 Crown Oldsmobile. Scrape on the Charles Sanford car as Matt Haas tries to push him. Paul Minnick, he gets through without a scratch. I think Garcia did too in the 11 car. And there's Jacob Thibodeau. He bumps right. He crashes right into Quentin Moore's car in the 21. This crash took several pretty good cars out of contention here. There's where Deaver got turned by Jay Jefferson. I think Deaver's wanting a word with Jefferson over that one. Oh, and then he gets butt fumbled by Henry Sanford. Zach Rogers, I'm sure not expressing his displeasure, takes it out on Jacob Thibodeau in the 33 car. Now you see no hood on the Ryan Brommer car and the 66 car. Henry Sanford trying to catch it back up to the field. Amazingly enough, no cars out of this race, amazingly enough, after all this. Oh, there's probably gonna be some lap traffic problems for sure, but it seems like, isn't there always when we get on the tracks like this? It seems like, I can't figure it out though. Well, I actually can. California, the track sister of this, so these cars put on one of the best races of the season at California Speedway, caution free. Then again, that track seems wider than Michigan, less banking, however, but this track in Michigan is even more faster than California. If you run them pretty darn fast, it's obviously fast. If you run them in the same AI length, I should say, it's faster than California Speedway. They qualify, as we mentioned here, at 184 miles an hour, and then draft-wise, they should be pushing 190 in the draft. We saw over 190 at California, believe it or not. William Brock leads. Second is Jesse Turner. Third is Cat Batson. Benjamin Miles is fourth. Fifth is Dylan Young. Fourth position is Joshua Osborne. Fifth is Dylan Pote. Then sixth position is Dylan Pote. And problems with the Rob Evans car in the 12 machine. Oh, problems with the Rob Evans car, the number 12 Ray Best's Buick is slowing, and I don't think he's gonna make it on the pit road. No, he's not gonna make it on the pit road. He's only doing 10 miles an hour, and he comes to a dead stop. Oh my gosh! So Rob Evans has blown up on the restart on lap number 7, and Benjamin Miles goes to lead. Here comes Poteet to the low side, who leads this lap. I think Poteet led the lap. Nope, Benjamin Miles led the lap. Here comes number 2, Dylan Young to the low side. Dylan Young always runs good at Michigan. He's won here before. And even with some of the cars in the crash show, some of the guys still making a go of it. Nathan Orman got through. Kyle Matthews, he spun, but he's still making a go of it in that number 42 car. He's got Osborne, Jordan Anderson, and Mike Becker right there behind. Kev Shear in this mix. Jessica Shelton, she's making a go of it here in the number 9 car. Shelton usually very strong at Michigan. Usually, she's won here before too. Then again, where hasn't she won it other than the plate tracks? But through the second turn they come. Oh baby, this is gonna be tight. 3 wide off turn number 2. 2 rows deep, I should say. But they made it through as Becker pulls ahead of Gardner as they go down the backstretch into the third turn. Paul Minnick and the 10 cars in this mix too. Number 10 Tide Ford. Osborne in this mix here, and in this mix, remember Osborne is number 3 in points coming in. So he was the points leader coming into Watkins Glen with a bad run that disrupted that. Dropped him from number 1 to 3 in the points, combining the fact of Shelton's second place run and Quentin Moore's win and the crash, I think, in turn 3 or turn 1. It's Kat Batson in 27. She's crashed. Oh, one of the cars upside down. It's Jesse Turner in 94. He was upside down. And a saving grace looks like for Henry Sanford. He's going to keep him going a lap down as the yellow flag flies for the second time today on lap number 11. And we already see a 190 mile an hour lap, though, out of Benjamin Miles. So, as he won the race back to the start-finish line. But a crash involving Kat Batson and Jesse Turner has caused caution number 2 to fly. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened. Kat's husband Keith made it 4 wide. Underneath him, Zach Rogers, Turner, and Kat. Turner just drives Kat up the track, and oh my goodness gracious. Jesse Turner to steal one of Ken Squire's lines, side over side, end over end. And on the roof goes the Pepsi 400 winner at Daytona. Jesse Turner across the line in 16th position before all this happened. And that Oldsmobile sliding down the racetrack here. Now, thankfully for him, he's lost a lot of speed at this point too. Because imagine if he'd be sliding down, doing about 100 plus miles an hour, and the car lands back up on all four wheels, but the damage is already done at this point. But yeah, I'm sure Cat Matson's going to have some words with Jesse Turner over that one too. Because I mean, he literally just pushed her right into turn one wall. And I mean, she got the worst of the impact. Believe it or not, though. I mean, she got like a hard impact. I mean, because well, you want proof though. Let's take a look at real time. Let's take a look at real time. I mean, her impact speed was almost 190 miles an hour. That's what it looks like when that's what it looks like when your car's damaged up and if your car hits the wall at that kind of speed. I mean, it looks like 70 miles an hour on the interstate though. But trust me, you got damage that bad and everything. You know, there's some speed involved. So we went from no cars out of the race to 4 cars out of the race here. Cat Matson obviously out of the race. So is obviously Jesse Turner. Both out of the race here. Problem with the Rob Evans car, it was a camshaft failure on the number 12 Ray Best's Buick. So I was right. It was basically an engine failure. A camshaft, if for those of you who don't know, is a moving part inside the engine, and it can't really be repaired so quickly though. It's going to involve basically a complete engine rebuild. So it's where your rods and your pistons are pretty much connected. So the cam obviously is a device that measures your RPMs on the engine. So I'm not a mechanic, so I'm just telling you what I know. Jean Sanford had a valve problem and she's out of the race too. So a couple of failures within the engine has knocked a couple drivers out of the race here. Fastest lap of the race so far, Kev Shearer at 193.325 miles an hour. But it is Benjamin Miles leading, his buddy Dylan Poteet second, Dylan Young is in third, Kyle Matthews is in fourth, and fifth is Mike Becker. Nathan Orman matches his car number, runs sixth. William Brock is seventh. Eighth is Johnny Gardner. Ninth, Kev Shearer, and Joshua Osborne is in 10th. The green flag flies. We're back on our way on lap number 15 here at Michigan. So we are halfway this time by. Benjamin Miles looking for his first victory of the season. He has not won yet. Here he sits close to the top 10. And actually, he sits in the top 10, I think, in the points this coming into this race. But here come the Dillons, Poteet, and Youngs in a draft here. And yes, the draft is effective here at Michigan, as unopposed to the last race on the tour at Watkins Glen, where obviously that being a road course. As they come off turn number 4 here, Young looks to the low side. Here comes Ormond. He likewise has never won in a series before. Dylan Poteet's not won in a long time. He's probably forgotten how it's felt like. Poteet, you may remember, of course, the man who formerly ran the Mountain Dew Racing Series and the defunct Mopar Nationwide Series. A lot of success with those two series as far as a manager of that series himself. But here comes another man who runs a decent series. Who runs a couple of decent series himself. Dylan Young, number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Ford. Floors will throw on that black Ford, and he takes the lead. Dylan Young, usually pretty dangerous here at Michigan as he goes into turn number 1. And here comes number 4, William Brock, the pole sitter for the event. And look at Mike Becker. He wants to win a race here. He's not yet won this season. Remember, last season he didn't win till the night race at Bristol, which is in fact next on the schedule for the Busch 500. But William Brock is now out in front. Dylan Young to second place, third. is Becker fourth, and look who's going to there, scraped up in all. Jessica Shelton at the fourth position now. Here comes Paul Minnick. And the 10 car down the low side here. Him and Shelton are going to go toe-to-toe with each other. And several cars with a wise move to back off. That was Poteet and Osborne and Ormond. And now some new players coming along here. Jordan Anderson back in the fray. Keith Batson, Zach Rogers. On board with Keith Batson in car 28, the Texaco Hadlin Ford. And give a call to the guy up ahead of him here, Matt Haas, number 18. He's one of the ones that was involved in that first caution. He's making a go of it at number 18, Interstate Battery Chevy. And now from Zach Rogers' view, the number 1 Skull Classic Oldsmobile. Rogers was clocked 14th the last time by. Let's see what he's clocked at this time by. Deaver's going to go, or I should say, that's not Deaver, that's Osborne going by. Kyle Matthews now pulls alongside of him. Rogers way up the track here. That's Alex Miller in 83 up ahead of him. The Bullseye Barbecue Sauce Oldsmobile, and now Quentin Moore. 21 car goes low, and he's going to try to take position. He's got Kyle Matthews behind him, or had Kyle Matthews behind him, I should say. I see it's more on the lead lap, I think. Yes, he is. He's 19th there, but several cars going by him. Look at Mitchell Collins in the 20 car, like a shot of a cannon. I see why everybody was bunched up. Henry Sanford was holding everybody up. That's why everybody was bunched up like so, and Henry Stamper's, he better get out of the way because there's going to be a heck of a mess here. Laura Chung and Cole Deaver, they're both in this. They're both a lap down, I should say. And Henry Stamper will not get out of the way of Dylan Poteet there. Shelton's on the outside. She gets by him. I'm sure Henry Stamper's gotten the finger a lot of times there as they drive by him. But that spread the field out quite a bit there as they come off turn number 4. And now they're going to go 4 wide. Matthews, McIntyre, Gardner, and Fitzwater. Oh, brother. And oh, by the way, we're down to less than 10 to go right now. So after that shuffle, first and second is the battle of Wawa versus Sheets. Here, Dylan Young leads and Kev Shearer up to second. Imagine if you're going to have a battle for the win like between those two guys here. We may have it today. We're down to 8 laps to go right now, though, so a whole lot can happen here. We got cars trying to close up. Mike Becker in the 43 car. You saw him in 3rd position. But neither Shearer nor Young have won a race this season. Could one of those two do it today? About to find out here. Between those two guys here, Dylan Young up ahead right now, and he has our bumper cam looking right at the Country Time Oldsmobile, Kev Shearer. Becker in 3rd, Keith Batson in 4th. Batson finished 4th the last race on the tour at Watkins Glen. Like to move that up at least about 3 more notches there to possibly get a win here today. And they are closing. Here comes, you see Becker and Batson closing up there through the rear view of Dylan Young's car. And here comes number 43, Mike Becker to the low side as he tries to take the King Richard Petty cars out in front. And give a call again to another surprise. Jordan Anderson, the number 90 car, is up to 5th position right now. Then at Highlight Myers Ford, having a really good run here today. As he takes his cars, as he's taking his car up to the top 5 position now. Paul Minnick is 6th. Mitchell Collins running in 7th position. Behind him, one of the best, Joshua Osborne. Here comes Osborne to the low side. He and Mitchell are going to go toe-to-toe with each other as they go through the 3rd and 4th turns. Osborne's going to get by, but Mitchell Collins trying to fight back on the outside. You got Matt Haas up there, Nathan Ormond, and Benjamin Miles up there. And we talk about Adam Garcia, how good of a run he had the last time he was at Michigan. Well, having another good run right now. He started this race 39th and is running right now in 13th position at this point in the number 11 Budweiser Ford. Phil Parker back there, Jay Jefferson, Ryan George, and Kyle Matthews. Matthews trying to take 16th away from damaged Ryan George there. George with a back bumper all wrinkled up with the number 14 Kellogg's Cornflake Chevy. But Dylan Young, here we go. They're coming to the back of Henry Sanford once again. What's going to happen in turn number 1? Young gets caught behind him. Shear's going to get caught behind him. Batson's going to go to 2nd. And Anderson's going to go to the 3rd spot here. And he's held up several of the other drivers here as Sanford holding up Miles, Ormond. Ormond says, screw this, I'm going to the low side, and oh, brother, here we go. And look, it's 5 wide on the front stretch. They were 5 wide. They were 5 wide on the front stretch because of the lap car here, and they somehow made it. 3 to go right now, and they're putting the pedal to the metal here at Michigan. Young's pulled ahead. Batson, though, trying to close. He's got Anderson behind him. He gets past Osborne, and now Mike Becker's behind Jordan Anderson right now. Coming for 2 to go. Becker to the low side now of Anderson's car. Matt Haas back there. Kev Shear may not be out of this yet. Don't count him out yet. Does Keith Batson have anything for Dylan Young? Inside with Keith Batson. He knows the white flag this time by, and so too is Dylan Young. He also knows that as well. Off to number 4 they come here. A pair of Fords battling it out. White flag here in the Champion Spark Plug 400. Will it be Dylan Young or Keith Batson in victory lane? Young stays about a couple of car lengths ahead of Batson as they come off the 2nd corner. I don't think Batson's got anything, though. He stays the same margin behind there as they go through the 3rd and 4th turns now. Dylan Young, the number 2 Miller Jr. in Draft 4. We talk about how tough he always is on this track here. Well, he just proved my point here. Off to number 4, the Champion Spark Plug 400 belongs to car number 2. Dylan Young wins at Michigan. Dylan Young takes the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Ford to victory lane here today in the Champion Spark Plug 400. Keith Batson, a great performance, comes home in 2nd position. 3rd will go to Mike Becker. 4th place to Matt Haas. And Paul Minnick comes home in 5th position. Excuse me. So 24 races are in the books here. Average speed 129.977. That's the average speed in this race here today. Rest of the finishers here. Kev Shear comes home in 6th position. Jordan Anderson comes home with a great 7th place run for him. 7th for Anderson, I should say. Joshua Osborne, him and Dylan Young are going to get a lot of help in points. So Osborne comes home in 8th position. Adam Garcia with another good run finishes in 9th. And Benjamin Miles ends up finishing in 10th. Mitchell Collins comes home in 11th. Nathan Ormond, 12th. Pole sitter William Brock comes home 13th. Kyle Matthews, 14th. He recovers from an earlier crash. Zachary Fitzwater 15th, 16th goes to Ryan George. Christian Russell comes home in 17th, I should say, a great day for him. Here's Dylan Poteet 18th, Zach Rogers 19th, and 20th to Phil Parker. Jessica Shelton 21st, 22nd Jay Jefferson, Johnny Gardner 23rd, Alex Miller 24th, 25th will go to Cole Deaver, 26th to Jacob Thibodeau, Laura Chung 27th, Quentin Moore dropped to 28th. So remember he came in his second place in the points. That's going to hurt him big time in the points, considering that Shelton, Young, and Osborne all finished ahead of him. And oh yeah, so did Keith Batson. Batson was number 5 in the points coming in this race there too. And that second place run is going to help Batson and the top 2 finishes are going to help Batson and Young big time as well too. So, And like I said, guess where we're heading to next? Bristol is next on the tour. Night racing for the Busch 500. You do not want to miss it. 75 of short track mayhem will be the order of the night of that race. I'll flat guarantee you that. Jacob Thibodeau, Laura Chung, Quentin Moore was 28th. Matt McIntyre, Levi McIntyre, those two did not need those runs today here, 29th and 30th. Wade Brummer, Charles Sanford was 32nd. Nathan Hudson, Seth Cole, Jackson Haywood, and Ryan Brommer was the last car on the lead lap. And 36th, the only car not on the lead lap, obviously, was Henry Sanford in 37th. Cat Batson, Jesse Turner, Rob Evans, and Gene Semper were the cars out of the race here today. But a big win for Dylan Young as he takes home the Champion Spark Plug 400. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got inner races, we got gaming videos, we got inner online videos. Whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for his channel, be sure to check out Seth's Dorsal Cup Series. It's in full swing on this channel, and you will not regret checking that series out. And I guarantee you, Seth does his races a whole lot better than what I do as well too. So that will do it today at Michigan. For this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. We will see you on the high banks of Bristol for some short track madness in the Busch 500.